Esther, the brave queen. For such a time as this, Esther 4:14. Lesson: God places us where we are for a purpose, and he gives us courage to do what's right. A new queen in Persia. Long ago, in a beautiful palace in Persia, lived a king named Xerxes. He was powerful and rich, but not always wise. One day, he decided to choose a new queen. From all over the kingdom, many young women were brought to the palace. Among them was a kind and lovely woman named Esther. She was Jewish, one of God's people, but she kept that secret, just as her cousin Mordecai advised her. Esther's kindness, grace, and courage made her stand out. When she came before the king, he smiled and placed a crown on her head. Esther had become queen of Persia. A wicked plan. Not long after, a man named Haman became one of the king's top advisors. Haman was proud and loved when people bowed before him. But Mordecai, Esther's cousin, refused to bow. He would only bow before God. This made Haman furious. He decided not only to punish Mordecai, but also to destroy all the Jewish people in the land. Haman tricked the king into signing a decree allowing his wicked plan. When Mordecai heard the news, he tore his clothes and cried out, "Oh God, help us!" Then he sent a message to Queen Esther. "You must go to the king and beg for our people's lives." Esther's difficult choice. Esther's heart pounded when she read Mordecai's message. It was against the law to go before the king without being invited. Anyone who entered the throne room uninvited could be put to death, unless the king raised his golden scepter in mercy. Esther sent back a message. "If I go to the king without being called, I could die." But Mordecai replied, "Who knows? Perhaps you were made queen for such a time as this." Esther took a deep breath. She knew what she had to do. "Go, gather all our people to fast and pray for 3 days," she said. "I will go to the king. And if I perish, I perish." Esther's brave plan. After 3 days, Esther dressed in her royal robes and stood trembling outside the throne room. The guards opened the doors, and she stepped inside. The king looked up, surprised. Would he be angry? Then he smiled and held out his golden scepter. Esther was safe. "What is it, my queen?" he asked kindly. "What do you want?" Esther bowed. "Please come to a banquet I've prepared for you and Haman." At the banquet, the king asked again, "What is your request?" But Esther invited them to another banquet the next day. That night, the king couldn't sleep. When he read the royal records, he discovered that Mordecai had once saved his life and had never been rewarded. The next morning, the king honored Mordecai while Haman fumed with jealousy. The truth revealed. At the second banquet, Esther finally spoke. "My king," she said bravely, "there is a wicked plan to destroy me and my people." The king's eyes widened. "Who would do such a thing?" Esther pointed to Haman. "This evil man is our enemy." The king was furious and ordered that Haman be punished. Then he made a new decree allowing the Jewish people to defend themselves. God's people were saved. What kids learn from this story? God puts us in special places for special reasons. Courage means doing what's right, even when it's scary. When we pray and trust God, he gives us strength to stand up for others. One person's bravery can change everything. Esther's story reminds us that God always has a plan, and we can be brave knowing he is with us.